Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi. Take that off. Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami Ratam vadishyami Satyam vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadbhaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Bhaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we are, as they say, in a pickle. What is the pickle? The pickle is none of the meanings fit. Okay, that is the pickle. None of the meanings fit, and we have tried everything. All we have is a headache as a result, because we have tried every single interpretation. None of them are making any sense, and therefore what? So therefore we have two options. I said yesterday, what were the two options? One is to just white out, take some white ink and put that over this tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. You just erase it. Okay. Why erase it? Because it is not making any sense. And so therefore that's one option. Or we just try to look into it further. Because this is what Adi Shankara says, Nacha asmad vakyad yatnavatam vijnanam utpadyate. Even for the sincere seekers who are working very hard, there is no vijnanam. Utpadyate means there is no enlightenment that has come as a result. Vijnanam here is the knowledge of what is this. Even though people are making effort, nothing has come other than a headache. And so therefore, what should we do? We should, then he says, what does he say? Hanta tarhi anarthakatvat apohyameva tadvakyam tatsrishtva tadeva anupravishat iti na anyarthatvat. Hanta means alas, ayyo. If you want to say ayyo in Sanskrit, you say hanta. Oh, alas, so sad. Hanta. Tarhi means therefore, whereas therefore so many things. Tarhi. So now what to do? Anarthakatvat. Because this entry business has no meaning here, that apohyam eva. Apohana yogyam. Apohyam. Apohana means removal. So this apohyam eva tadvakyam. So this sentence is to be removed, is worthy of being removed. Just cancel it, make it disappear. Take some white ink and put it on the thing. Simple. It's gone. And so what is that which is to be apohyam? Tadvakyam. That sentence. Which sentence? Tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat iti. We are not asking for a lot. We are just removing selectively just a little bit. इसमें क्या problem है? What is the problem here? Nothing will happen. Well, for starters, what will happen? Then all the Dvaitins who are studying, they will erase Tattvamasi. They will erase Aham Brahmasmi. They will also erase Prajnanam Brahma. They will erase this particular section we are coming to in the Kathopanishad. Etat Vaitat. That what is there is this Yadyatha Iha Tad Amutra. All this they will erase. Just as it is here, it is elsewhere. All that is here is one. So instead of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, if everybody started to erase whatever was inconvenient to them, and truth is always inconvenient, okay? Truth is not bending to make you feel better. Truth doesn't come with a fan in hand and a cushion to put behind your back and make everything comfortable. Lumbar and all these things. It doesn't do that. Truth doesn't come, it's not convenient. Truth is always inconvenient. It comes at the wrong time. Like Vairagyam comes at the wrong time. Even for the Buddha, he was newly married, had a new baby at home, and that is, according to many people, the wrong time. And that's when he walked out. So everything, the truth is never convenient. It does not bend to our schedule. It doesn't say, do you think you can accommodate me? It does eka poshanam of you. It does swaha of you. It doesn't wait for you. So that is what the nature of truth. So if you started erasing, then we would have 2 blank pages, which was previously called Kenopanishad. Then we'll have 20 blank pages, which was previously known as Kathopanishad. We'll have 100 blank pages, double that. 100 plus 100, 200 blank pages, which were previously known as Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya. If everybody started to erase that which was inconvenient and that which they could not find a meaning, then this is what would happen. There would be Shastra Hani, there would be a loss of the Shastra, and then Shastra will cease to be, what is that called? It won't have Pramanyam, it won't have the Adhikara of being a Pramana at all. So therefore, this is not a apohyam, na. Adi Shankara immediately is alarmed because this is some Ekadeshi, some person who is just an onlooker, suddenly decided to put their 2 cents in to the argument. So the Ekadeshi says, Hanta, alas, I know you've worked really hard. Apohyam eva, let's remove this. Let us remove this. Then it's fine. Just that. Tadeva anupravishat iti. That's all. That's Srishtva tadeva anupravishat, just that much. Then we will go. Satyatyajja bhavata, no problem. Niruktancha, niruktancha. We have an explanation for that. Nilayanancha, nilayanancha, no problem. Got it, done. And only this one we can just pretend, put it under the carpet, pretend it doesn't exist, whistle, look around, be in denial, just be happy. It never happened. What Srishtva, what Anupravesha? And so it says, Adi Shankara first says, Na. Why? Anyarthatvat, meaning there is another meaning, anyarthatvat. It is not anarthaka, it is not anartha, it's anyartha. Very nice pun here. That fellow's word, anartha, Adi Shankara takes and says anyartha. Very nice. Then he asked the question, the kimarthamidam asthane charcha. Charcha means a discussion. Discussion means, what do we have? We have some in Hindi there is one, chai pe charcha. Like there is an expression. Means you have tea and you have talk. Usually that talk is just empty talk. It is not anything meaningful. How are you? What's up? What's down? How is things going? What are you doing? And how is life? This is just that. Meaningless. Or they could be discussing about somebody else. You know, that person, terrible person, horrible person. Why do they exist? We don't know. This is chai pe charcha. Okay. It is masala chai. Masala is being brought by the conversation, not the chai. Okay. So masala is a superimposed property, superimposed upon the chai, but actually is intrinsic to the conversation. All right. So now, so this is the kind of charcha. So charcha means some kind of an empty discussion that is leading nowhere. So kimartham means for what purpose? Idam, this, asthane charcha. So this word asthane is very interesting. We have a word sthane. Which case? Sthane. It looks like Saptami, but unfortunately it is Avyaya. Okay, indeclinable. Yeah, it's not Sthana, Sthano, Sthana, and Sthane. Seventh case. No. Nice try, however. Okay, it is an indeclinable, which means it is proper. Okay, and we'll encounter it in the 11th chapter. Sthane Hrishikesha tava prakirtya jagat prahrishyatyanurajyate cha. Arjuna tells the Lord, Sthane, O Hrishikesha, not Rishikesha, okay, Hrishikesha, O Lord, the one who is the Ishvara of all the sense organs, the Lord of the master of the sense organs, that is Hrishikesha. O Hrishikesha, Sthane. Sthane means your cosmic avatara is in place. It is all in place. Because of your presence, Jagat Anurajyate and Prahrishyati cha. The Jagat dances with delight because of your presence, and that is proper. Sthane means proper. Asthane means improper. Yeah. Which case? No case. Basket case. Okay. So it is improper. So this charcha, this kind of an empty-headed discussion that you are having and getting premature gray hairs as a result of this empty discussion is totally improper and unnecessary. So, kimarthamidam, for what purpose is this? Asthane charcha. And in some places, in Anandashrama's version of this, they are pointing out that the word charcha is not there. Okay. Kimarthamidam asthane question mark. Okay, that is what it is. So, why are we discussing this? Why are we discussing this? Asthane means ayuktam. Why are we discussing this totally unnecessary thing, improper thing? And then Adi Shankara does what he loves to do best, is talk about the context. Adi Shankara indeed is the master of context. You may forget, we may forget what this is all about. Adi Shankara does not forget the context at all. And here he reminds us of that which is the context, which here is called, so let us repeat this. Prakritaha hi अन्यः विवक्षितः अस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः अस्ति सः स्मर्तव्यः. Yeah, so prakritam means that which is under discussion. Prakritah. So don't just take this whole entry business and then look at, you have gone round, what is that called? Robin Hood's barn, as they say in English. You've gone all over the place, taking this one thing. You've gone here, gone there, and you brought in all these vadas, and for what? And you forgot the context. And what is prakritam? Then that which is prakrita. Prakrita means that which has already begun. Meaning what? The Upanishad that has already begun. Look at what is there. Prakritaha hi anyaha. Anyaha means other than what all you have been beating and breaking your head over, that which is prakrita, that which is in the context here, that which has already been begun, is completely different from all of the things that you are talking about. That which has begun is completely different from everything that you are talking about. Anyaha, to put it mildly, is completely opposite. He really, I think, wants to say, but he's being kind here. Vivakshitaha vivakshitad anyaha. Vivaksha means what? Like mumuksha, desiderative. Vivaksha, desire to what? Vaktum ichha, the desire to speak, is called vivaksha. So first we have to see the context. Prakritaha, which is anyaha, which is other than what you people have been discussing here. And then you people means the Purva Pakshis have been discussing here. First we have to look at the context, then we have to look at the Shruti Vivaksha. What does the Shruti intend to say? The intention of the Shruti, Vaktum Ichha, what does she desire to say? That we have to also take into account. Otherwise, it would not be a authentic reading of this. This is how to do Vedic hermeneutics. This is what is called hermeneutics. Hermeneutics means that it is the analysis of the words of the Shruti, and that you cannot just suddenly do it on your own, kapola kalpitam, your skull starts to think and comes up with certain ideas that won't go. There are rules, and the rules are you should stick to the text. You can't suddenly introduce something which the text hasn't introduced. Has the text introduced Pratibimbavada? No. Has it introduced Avachedavada? No. And yet you have happily brought all these things in when it itself has not introduced it. So for a hermeneutical or a close textual analysis, you have to follow the rules of Mimamsa. So, and then it is not about what you want. It is about the authentic reading of the text, objective reading of the text. See, this is why we need to, the Shruti will say, the Adi Shankara will say, this is why we need to do Karma Yoga. Raga Dvesha should not be there, because the presence of even the subtlest of Raga Dveshas comes in the way of reading the text. The presence of the ragadveshas will make the text into a subjective thing. I will see what I want to see. I will only like what I want to like. The rest of it I'll say, Tattvamasi, that's not important. It's overrated. Tattvamasi is overrated, yeah. Next, done. Done, Chandogya, I am done. Next. Next, what? This is what, then one is always looking, what's next, what's next? I told you the story of the man who came to Pujya Swamiji and he said, I have read, didn't say studied, I have read Kathopanishad, I have read Kenopanishad, I have read Mundakopanishad, I have read Brihadaranyaka Chandogya Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, everything. Ishakena Katha Prashna Mundakamandukkya Tittirihi Aitareyancha Chandogyam Brihadaranyaskas Tatha. This is how to remember all 10 of them together. You put it in a verse, then you can memorize. And then what I've done, all these things. And then his question to Swamiji, Ab kya karoon? What shall I do now? So if that question comes, what shall I do now? After really studying the Upanishads, that question will not come. Either one will say, I have studied and internalized everything, and that is because of your grace. Hey Guru, what would you like me to do? I am at your feet. Put me whatever, let me be of service to you. Either one will say that, or one will just get up, go quietly, revel in the message of the Upanishads, or write books, or teach, or whatever. But here the person is, okay, what comes next? This happened, this study, what comes next? And Swamiji said, please take up a job. He said, okay, and went away. So, take up a job. So here, there are rules of engagement, there are rules of analysis. And the rules of analysis are, you must not first of all stray from the text. And the text must be authentically read for its vivaksha. Vivaksha means what? Vaktum ichha. What is it desiring? What is its purport? Vivaksha means purport. What is it desiring to say? You must never go away from that. You must not put words in the Shruti's mouth. Shruti herself is a pramana. She is speaking. You can't say, I think you mean to say this. Who are you? You're the one who is the recipient of the knowledge. The recipient of the knowledge is Jnani or Ajnani? Ajnani. The one who wants to receive the knowledge is Ajnani. So the Ajnani can't put their own ingredients into the knowledge which is giving Jnanam. That is counterintuitive. Then the second rule of engagement is that you must never lose sight of the context. So the purport of the entire Upanishad is important, and the context in which this entry or whatever is coming, that is also very important. So this is what he says. The context is important, and the context is then प्रकृतं हि अन्य विवक्षितः अस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः अस्ति सः स्मर्तव्यः. You must remember that. No option. So what should we do? Go back to class 1. Class 1. Oh, am I getting a demotion? Only if you don't remember. You can consider it a demotion, but really it's more of a brushing up. Go back to class 1. What was class 1? Brahmavida apnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma यो वेद निहितं गुहायां parame vyoman. That was class 1. This is what it was. So Brahmavid apnoti param. The knower of Brahman gets the ultimate. Then an akanksha is produced. A desire is produced. Kim tad Brahma? What is this Brahman? Where is this Brahman? I want the ultimate. And here it says Brahmavit. The ultimate is connected to knowing Brahman, not having Brahman, not owning Brahman, but knowing Brahman, not experiencing Brahman, but knowing Brahman. So then what is this Brahman that I should know? And then what was Brahman described as? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. All this, Tvaya, Smartavya. By you, it should be remembered. This is, Adi Shankara is giving the rules of Mimamsa here. He's giving the rules of engagement of Vedic hermeneutics of how to do this, and because so nihitam, so then he himself gives, because he knows that we are not going to remember, even though he says saha vakyah smartavyah, even though he says, then he goes and says Brahmavid apnoti param satyam jnanam anantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayamiti smartavyah. These three sentences are very important. Tad jnanam, tad vijnanam cha vivakshitam. So now, after remembering these sentences, we arrive at the understanding. What is the understanding? Of the purport of the Shruti. We arrive at the understanding of what is the Shruti trying to say. Is the Shruti looking to see how it entered? No. What is the Shruti trying to say? The Shruti is trying to say that the one who knows Brahman as the truth of themselves, nihitam guhayam. And so the one who knows Brahman is what? Is Brahman. Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. So this knowing Brahman is the purport of the Shruti. And what is this Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. Nihitam means what? That which is inside, located. Guhayam means what? Buddhau, in the heart, in the buddhi. So the one who knows it in the cave of the heart. So that means there is what in the cave of the heart? Huh? What is there in the cave of the heart to know? Brahman. Ah, Has it not already entered? Yes, it's already there. So then that is what has to be remembered. See, so beautiful. So the entry, so to speak, is been there right from the beginning. This is not something new. Suddenly the entry was not brought out. It's not that the Shruti forgot what it said. You may forget what the Shruti says. Shruti never forgets what it says. Shruti remembered what it said. Adi Shankara also remembered what it said. These stupid Purva Pakshis took us on a little, what should I say, ride. They took us on a sorry go round. It is not a joy ride. It's not a, what is the other one called? Merry go round. It's a sorrow go round, sorry go round of wild ideas. It was a wild roller coaster for a few weeks of looking at what was all about when the answer was staring at us in the face. That's how Vedanta is. That's why it's the best kept secret. Nihitam guhayam. That's all. Because even if it is told, it is safe. The person says, like Shvetaketu did, Bhuya eva Bhagavan Vijñāpayatu. May the teacher, may the revered teacher tell me this all over again. Bhuya eva Bhagavan Vijñāpayatu. So this is what it is. Why? Because it's the best kept secret. It is Nihitam Guhayam. And that's why the Buddhi is called Guha. There are many similarities. There are stalactites of what? In the cave there are stalactites and stalagmites. I always forget which is which. The one that is growing from top and the one that is growing from bottom, one of them. It's a tite or a mite, I don't know. But then the stalactites and stalagmites are all the ragadveshas in the buddhi guha, in the heart. And then what? It is dark. Why? Ajnanam, tamas. It is damp. Why? It is full of sorrow, tears. And then there are bats flying around, bats of anyatha jnanam, mistaken notions. I'm not good, I'm an idiot, nobody loves me, etc., etc., etc. These mistaken notions are there. And these notions are mistaken to be the ocean of sorrow. And I'm far away from God. There is no Brahman, there is no Ishvara in my life. And then what? The Shastra lamp illumines this cave, and you find that you are sitting in Bhagavan's lap. In fact, you are Bhagavan, there is no difference. And so all this you can't just suddenly forget, Adi Shankara says. And then so he says, what did he say just now? Yeah, these three sentences we have to remember. Smartavyaha. And what were the three sentences? Vivakshita and Brahmavidapnoti param satyam jnanam anantam yo veda nihitam guhayam. So then, this is what it is. This is how Vijnana Utpatti takes place. For what? Atindriya Vishaya. For something that cannot be figured out, which is beyond the scope of the senses and other pramanas, Pratyaksha and other pramanas, Shruti becomes the pramana for the rise of knowledge. And so for that, you have to smartavyaha. So this Shrutyartha, you have to allow it to come without forgetting the context, without forgetting the context and without forgetting the rules of engagement, not distorting the meaning of what is going to be said here and what was said earlier. And so then, so what was said, let's look at the first sentence. What is the first sentence he quotes? Brahmavid apnoti param iti. This is Brahmana Vakya, prose Vakya. So this is the first Prakrita Vishaya, first thing that was started with. What was that? The knower of Brahman, the one who has Brahma Avagamaha, the knowledge of Brahman. So now, the one who has Brahma Avagamaha, the one who has the knowledge of Brahman, Paraprapti. So the knowledge of Brahman becomes Paraprapti Karanam. The Karanam means the cause of gaining the ultimate. So the knowledge of Brahman was already there. From this, what do we understand? There is such a thing called Brahman. Number one. There is such a thing called Brahman, and then it is not to be experienced, it is not to be consumed, it is not to for any other reason. What is it for? It is for avagama. It is for this Brahman is there, it is not Shunya, it is there. And since it has to be understood, it has to be understood. So the knowledge of Brahman itself is the cause of Paraprapti. Paraprapti means the gain of the ultimate. The knowledge is itself the gain of the ultimate. That means what? Moksha. So the knowledge of Brahman gives moksha. That means what? There is a phala. There is a result there. And then that Vastu Jnanam, the Vastu being Brahman, the knowledge of Brahman makes you gain the ultimate. And then what? What is the artha here? First, Asti Brahma, Tasya Jnana Apeksha is there. Brahman is there. And its knowledge, it is knowable. It is knowable means it's communicable. Why the Guru? If something is knowable, it should be communicable. And then what is this jnanam? That desire to tell about this jnanam is there. And what is this jnanam? That jnanam is it creates a certain desire to know, which brings us to the second sentence he quotes. What is the second sentence? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. What is this Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Immediately a mantra is quoted from the Rig Veda. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This Brahman is not Shunya, even though it has no, what is it called? Lakshana, attributes, characteristics. It is not soft and cuddly like a teddy bear, and it is not fragrant like a mango, and it is not sweet like cake or ice cream. It has no attributes whatsoever, totally beyond the scope of the sense organs. But that doesn't mean it is zero. That means what? It is there. It is knowable. And then what is it? 3 words are describing it. What was the first word? Satyam means it is there. It is not absent. It is not zero. It is there. Then what was the next word? Jnanam. What is this jnanam? Huh? Yeah, consciousness means where is this consciousness? Right here. Correct? Buddha. Bhatasat, Patasat. The one that says pot is. The is Sat. The pot comes and goes. Pot is object. Is Sat, and the pot cognition that takes place, pot cognition takes place, thought cognition takes place, ghata, pata, matha, or hat, cat, rat, all the cognitions takes place. All the cognitions takes place, and then what? The cognition, the object of cognition is there. In every cognition, there are 2 components. One is the object of cognition. Does the object of cognition change, or is it constant? Changes, naturally, because otherwise you'll be stuck looking at one thing all day long. And especially if it's a thing you do not like, then that means your whole day goes badly. Okay, so you can't do this. So the object of cognition naturally changes, because right now you're looking at the Ganga. Then you got tired of looking at the Ganga, then you started to look at the mountains. Then you started to see the moon. Then you started to see the bridge and how the bridges are lit up. So the object of cognition keeps changing. Now river, now bridge, now moon, now sky, now mountains, now people on the road. All this you are seeing. Then what else also changed? The cognizer also is not constant, because now I am the cognizer of mountains. So the mountain cognizer, there is a vikara, correct? Maybe I like mountains, so I say, aha, mountain. So the mountain cognizer is what? Is me with a certain vikara. What is the vikara? A favorable vikara here. Or I see something I do not like at all. I see 2 dogs fighting. Then it's a very unpleasant sight. I don't want anybody to fight. Here they are fighting. And so then I am now the cognizer of the dog fight. And when I am the cognizer of the dog fight, there is a small change. Why? Because this is an unpleasant thing. So there is a vikara. So the cognizer of the mountain is different from the cognizer of the dog fight. And then I see something neutral. like the river. Then again there is vikara, because again it has adjusted. So one is a ragi or a dveshi, or one is neutral. So there are at least three vikaras. Maybe I mean, just to be very like a broad sweep of it, there may be many small vikaras. We don't need to list all of them. We don't have the what is that context to list them. No need to list them. So then what? So then the object of cognition changes. The cognizer also is now happy, now sad, now bored, now neutral. Okay. So, but then for the cognition to take place, there must be something that connects. The pramana also changes, because now I'm a seer, now I'm a thinker, now I'm a hearer. That's also vikara. So seeing is the bridge between the object and the subject. Now if I'm seeing something, then I hear the horn of a car, then I say, okay, there is a car. How? Because the hearing has taken place, and so then all these things are also there. The pramana also keeps changing. The cognizer keeps changing. Cognizer does not also keep changing, as now ragi, now dveshi, now neutral, now hearer, now seer, now thinker. That's also another vikara of the, objectively speaking, vikara. And the cognizer undergoes many vikaras. And then the cognized also undergoes many vikaras. Object of cognition changes. The cognizer has vikara. There must be something in order to the. All this is happening on the canvas, on the adhishthana, that is totally free of vikara and totally free of changes. Because if that is not the case, how can I cognize the changes? If I am to cognize the changes, what should I do? I should be still. Yeah, I should be still. See, if you are also moving, let's say you're sitting in a train, on the window, all right, and then there is another train next to you on the what is that? Not platform, the tracks on the railway tracks. And the next track to your train, there is also another train. If you are also moving and that's also moving, you will think both are stationary. You won't know. And sometimes if you are moving, you think the other thing is moving. So only when you are stationary, you can say, okay, that train is moving, you can see. So to cognize movement, there must be something stationary. So all this is evident to me. That I am changing as a cognizer is evident to me. That the objects of cognition change is evident, becomes evident to me. That now there is seeing happening, now there is hearing happening, now there is touching happening, now there is smelling happening. All this becomes evident to me. Who is this me? We are not talking of the ahankara, because that is also vikari. So we are talking of nirvikaram brahma or nirvikara atma. That means it doesn't change at all. And so then this nirvikara atma is known as what? Jnanam. Jnanam. This is jnanam. And what is this? Pratyagatma. And then it has to be recognized, because yo veda nihitam guhayam, that was the next sentence. It has to be recognized. Where will you recognize it? In the buddhi only. Where else? You can't recognize it in the toes or in the nose. It has to be recognized in the buddhi, because that is the upalabdhi sthanatvat. It is the upalabdhi. Upalabdhi sthana means where this recognition, where this cognition. See, the cognition of everything takes place where? In the buddhi. So then the cognition of Brahman also has to take place where? In the buddhi itself. And so that is the Chaitanyasya upalabdhi sthanam, not anywhere else. Not anywhere else. So this consciousness is not available anywhere else except in the buddhi. How did it get in the buddhi? When you say in the buddhi, are we not talking of pravesha, entry? So why are you really, sweating bullets? Adi Shankara says over this, tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat. That means what? You have forgotten everything that went before. That's why this review he does here. Saha eva smartavya. So when you say it's upalabdhi sthanam is where? In the buddhi. In means what? Pravesha has taken place. It was already in the buddhi. Just like it is in every nama rupa, it's also in the buddhi. Then why not recognize it in the nama rupa? To recognize it in the nama rupa, this consciousness has to understand itself, and then only it can recognize that every nama rupa is there, is Brahman. It can understand that. And then it can't just say every nama rupa except me is Brahman. That doesn't make sense. So then it entered. How did it enter? So tat srishtva tadeva anupravishata, that means what? So the consciousness is not available anywhere except in the buddhi. And then he said something else here. Let me look at the Bhashya again. There is one small thing. What did he say? Brahmavid satyam jnanam anantam yo veda nihitam guhayam. Yeah. Tad vijnanam cha vivakshitam prakritam cha tat. So then he says that, okay, so tat srishtva, the tadeva anupravishat means it's already entered. How? As drashta, shrota, manta, seer, thinker, hearer. And so what is this entry? Entry is, in fact, we will be shocked to know that from the beginning to the end, nothing but entry is taking place in this Shruti. From the beginning to the end, we have nothing but entry, 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 entry. How, we'll look at the Bhashya a little later, but then we'll just do a sweep of this. So, yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. And the phala was pointed out. Saha ashnute, all these things. And then suddenly the word Brahman, which we were talking about, was converted into what? Atma. Tasmad va e tasmad, in the very next mantra. Without even may I. The Shruti doesn't even take your permission. Tasmad va e tasmad atmana akashas sambhutah. From this Akasha came. Vayu came. Then all the other elements came in order, from the subtlest to the gross. From the Akasha to Prithvi, all of them came. And then here we have an interesting thing here. So if everything has come from Brahman, then everything becomes what? Karya. Brahmanaha karanatvam praptam. So this Brahman has gained causality. What kind of a Brahman? You can't say Brahman anymore. Atma. Which is Brahman? Brahmatma. So this Brahmatma, which is me, has gained a causality. Has gained a causality. Everything else is Karya. And then, and what is this? This Brahman, this Atma is what? Karana. Karanatvam. The status of being a cause, it has gained. Okay. What kind of a cause? We know the words now. As though cause. Cause, eva, cause. It's not really cause because it's not really effect either. So it has as though gained the status of cause. So everything is karya. This is karana. Now the fun starts, because so we don't know this Brahman, correct? We don't know this Brahman. We don't know where it is in the buddhi. You can't scan the buddhi and say, aha, I found it. It's here. It's not, because why? It is that which sustains the one who says, aha, I found it. So therefore you cannot say that this is what it is. You cannot say this at all. And so therefore, what is the what has to happen here is something which is very, very fun. So therefore, methodology is devised. A very elaborate and beautiful methodology to take us to this Brahman, as though to take us to that which is already entered, which is already there, which is already you. And what is this methodology? You again go from the gross to the subtle. And you start with what? Your own body. You start with that which nourishes the body. What is that which nourishes the body? Annam, food. What is this? What is this annam? Brahma. Because tasmadvad etasmad atmana akasha sambhutah akashad vayuh vayoragnihi agnerapah adbhyah prithvi prithivya oshadhayah oshadhibhyonnam. It's not onnam, it is annam. Annat Purusha. From Anna, this body has come. Purusha here is not the second meaning. Sarvan Purayati iti Purusha, not yet. Here it is Purishete. This body is called Purusha. So then, Annat Purusha. Then it doesn't say Purushat something. No. This Purusha is Anna Rasamayaha. So this body is a product of food, born of food, eaten by the parents, sustained by food, goes back to food, goes back to becoming a brinjal. That's what, after a few centuries. So one is always eating the great grandparents, and then so goes back to food. And then this is what Anna Rasamaya. The Maya Vikararthe. There is a Vikara. So Anna Vikaram eva Shariram. So what is this Anna Vikara? What is this Annamaya? Nothing but Brahman. Annam Brahma. And then it also becomes, see, because everybody is at that level. This much I have understood. Okay, this is easy to understand. Because I eat the food and I feel better. So that means what? I feel nourished. This is immediate proof. Now what is the proof here? The immediate proof that Annam is nourishing this body. I don't need any other pramana. It is Sakshi Pratyakshena Siddham. Because I eat it and I feel nourished. And similarly, you see a child growing, you see that immediately. Pratyaksha pramana is enough. And then, so this is where the people are at. And so in the beginning of the study. So Annam Brahma. This Atma is Annam. Annam alone is this Atma. Really? Oh, so shall we say Purnamadaha Purnavidam? Not yet. Anyontara Atma Pranamaya. So it is so where is this Anna? Where is this Annamaya? Body. So the Atma is where? In the body. Already Pravesha has taken place. Then from the body you go to Prana. So you just keep shifting the goalposts. And then each place you see Brahman has already, wherever you go to do analysis, Brahman has already entered. Anyontara Atma Pranamaya Tenaisha Purnaha Tena Esha Annamaya Purnaha. So this Pranamaya pervades Annamaya because that which is subtle pervades that which is gross. This is the argument. Annamaya is pervaded by Pranamaya. Tena Esha Purnaha. Sabha Esha Purusha Vidha. It is in the form of akara of a Purusha. Tasya Purusha Vidhatam. Anvayam Purusha Vidha. Tasya Prana Eva Shiraha. Vyano. Then we have the Pakshi imagery. So the Prana, Vyana, Apana, all these things are there. And then it goes, then again, oh, Pranamaya is Atma, I got it. No. It is pervaded, means again you go from Pranamaya to what? Manomaya, and again it is pervaded, means what? It is entered. There also you find Brahman. Wherever you go, Brahman is already sitting. You think you are going to a new house and discovering something. And Brahman says, hello, I'm here already. Oh, but I came to discover. Yes, welcome, I'm here. And then from Manomaya, you go to what? Vijnanamaya. Then from Vijnanamaya, where do you go? Anandamaya. And there also, Brahman is already there. What? How? In the form of Moda. Ishtavastu praptihi. The Ishtavastu darshanam. Moda. You see something you like. Ah, nice. Wonderful. Ishtavastu darshanam. Then They said, no, no, it is for you. Oh, even better. And then what? Why aren't you eating? I'm waiting for you to leave. Why? So that I don't have to share it with you. Simple. Then that is what pramoda. After everybody leaves, I tear that thing into pieces and I have it all for myself. I tear into it and then I have it all for myself. Ishtavastu. I become one with this vastu. Okay. And so these gradations were described. Why were these gradations described? Because it was told that all these gradations are Brahman, but Brahman is Niratishaya Anandaha. Brahman was Ananda without conditions. Moda is a condition, conditional happiness. Something that makes me happy should be there. Then moda will come. Then it should belong to me. Then, priya, moda, pramoda will come in succession. So here it is niratishaya, means uncontrolled, unconditional happiness. That is what? That is where? In you, so to speak. In is again in inverted commas. So it is yourself alone. It is your own swarupa. All this was pointed out. How could you forget all this? This is what Bhashyakara wants to ask. And then now let us look at the Bhashya after understanding this. Okay, so यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां तद्विज्ञानं च विवक्षितं प्रकृतं च तत्. Okay, ब्रह्मस्वरूप अवगमाय च आकाशादि अन्नमयान्तं कार्यं प्रदर्शितं ब्रह्म अवगमश्च आरब्धः तत्र अन्नमयादात्मनः अन्योन्तरः आत्मा प्राणमयः तद् अन्तर्मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः इति विज्ञानगुहायां प्रवेशितः तत्र च आनन्दमयः विशिष्टः आत्मा प्रदर्शितः अतः परम् आनन्दमय लिंगाधिगम द्वारेण आनंद विवृद्धि अवसानः आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा सर्वविकल्पास्पदः निर्विकल्पः अस्यामेव गुहायाम् अधिगन्तव्यः इति प्रवेशः प्रकल्प्यते. Yeah, this is a long discussion, but I have given you the gist of it today. That's what he just said, what we had already seen. We'll see this next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I forgot the prasad. I'll just get it from the room. Yeah. Thank you.